Boss, I have a very interesting story to tell you about nationwide commercial auto insurance. So if you have, let's say if you have a cargo van business, a sprinter van business, a pickup truck, a box truck, you have all kinds of vans. So if you are in the delivery business, you are a courier and you're a courier business and you want to lower your commercial auto insurance policy cost, you want to watch this show from A to Z because I'll be sharing a lot of gems with you. And at the end of this show, you could save a lot of cash in terms of your commercial auto insurance policy. So here is the synopsis I want you to pay attention to. So the thing here is that first we need to identify what's covered by nationwide commercial auto insurance in general, right? So commercial auto insurance covers injuries that you or your employees may cause to other people and their property while driving. And a typical commercial auto policy may include things like auto liability. So auto liability from Nationwide covers really protects you and your company by paying for bodily injury or property damages you may become legally liable for as a result of a covered automobile accident. So if you're driving, if you are hauling loads from A to Z, you're going from one town to another, something happens, and you are actually carrying you are carrying customer loads. You have if you have this policy, Nationwide will cover you. You have also medical payments, which pays for medical expenses up to your coverage limits for you, your employees, and your passengers arising from motor vehicle accidents, regardless of who is at fault. You have a comprehensive coverage, which can help pay for damage to your vehicle from something other than another vehicle, like a vandalism, for example, theft, weather events, and accidents involving animals, subject to a deductible. Sometimes people talk about acts of God. Okay. You also have a collision coverage. So collision coverage pays for damage to your van, to your cargo van, to your sprinter van, to your box truck from another vehicle, whether you hit another vehicle or object, another vehicle hits you, or your vehicle rolls over, regardless of who is at fault, subject to deductible. You also have uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage, which pays for medical expenses, loss of income, and other damages owed to you, your employees, expenses that are not covered by workers' compensation, or your passengers when an accident is caused by an uninsured or underinsured motorist. So the bottom line here is that a commercial auto policy also can include coverage for cars you borrow or rent, as well as coverage for employees who use their vans or cars for your business. So here's the approach I want you to really pay attention to. So if you're trying to get a nationwide, let's say, commercial auto insurance policy for your cargo van, your sprinter van, your box truck, or whatever, there are three things that you need to really pay attention to. There's a trifecta that's really important. First of all, you need to determine what you need. So you need to see what kind of coverage you need, right? So you want to see what other companies in your industry typically choose for coverage. So what you want to do is you want to go to a Nationwide website right now, and you want to enter your geography, so your zip. You also want to enter the type of a business you are in. So are you doing a regular courier? Are you loading? Are you hauling loads for local shippers? Are you working for national shippers? What kind of insurance requirements do you have? Do you work for Amazon? Do you work for other players in the industry? Do you work for Walmart? So you got to be really clear here. So the second thing you want to do here is that you want to actually fund your type. So basically, you gotta ask. So first, you need to identify your needs. You need to find the type of insurance you want, and you need to customize your commercial auto policy for your cargo van, your sprinter van business. It really depends. And what happens here is that the Nationwide website is really good because it allows you to explore coverages and options. Now, one thing I want to say here is that if this is too complicated for you, just give them a call. Give them a call or contact a local Nationwide insurance agent to walk you through the whole process. So it's really important to understand that today's topic, we're really talking about how to apply for a nationwide commercial auto insurance policy for your sprinter van, your cargo van, and other stuff. Okay. So one thing I want to really beg you, please, when you are actually talking to an agent, please make sure that you talk about roadside assistance. God forbid something happens, you're stranded on a highway, whatever, on the I-7 or I-15, whatever. You want to make sure that you are covered, that somebody will come pick you up, will come to your cargo van, your sprinter van, especially if you have some kind of emergency, like if you are hauling an urgent load for a client, you want to have that. So you need to have a roadside assistance so you get 24/7 emergency help if you need fuel, a tire change, or a jump start or a tow. Very important. What's really important also is that when it comes to, I wanted to talk to you about the details. So when we talk about how to apply for commercial auto insurance with Nationwide for your sprinter van, your cargo van, your box truck, your pickup truck, just for your courier business, it's important to understand what kind of vehicles are covered by commercial auto insurance at Nationwide. Okay, so any vehicle that your business owns, borrows, leases, or rents, any vehicle your employees drive for both business and personal use, whether the vehicle is owned by the business or the employee. So the types of vehicles that Nationwide will insure includes cars, cargo vans, work vans, box trucks, pickup trucks, utility trucks. And the thing is that you may need a commercial auto policy if you are using your vehicle to transport goods. So we're speaking about you actually hauling loads for other clients. If you need higher limits of liability because of the nature of your work, for example, if you're working with Amazon wants you to have $1 million in a cargo insurance. It's really important. So if employees operate the vehicle, let's say you are not a solopreneur, you're not an owner operator by yourself, but you maintain a fleet. So you want to have so you have employees that operate the vehicle or the vehicles, and the vehicle is registered to the business. Okay, so when we talk about examples of businesses that may benefit from having commercial auto insurance policy, we're talking about delivery businesses, courier businesses, we have contractors, we have retail stores, we have wholesalers and distributors, we have food and beverage. This is really important. And the only thing I need to insist here is that Nationwide does not provide commercial auto insurance for semi-trucks or tractor trailers. Okay, they do not insure those. So if you have a semi, you listen to me right now, you cannot go to Nationwide. You have to go to another insurance policy. Same thing if you have a tractor trailer, Nationwide does not want to have your business. So this is something that it's just a matter of mitigating risk. It's not because they don't like semi trucks or tractor trailers. It's just because based on their insurance, they used to cover semi and tractor trailers back in the days, like 20 years ago. But they have since changed. They have restructured their business model. So nowadays they do not cover those two anymore, but they do cover all the cargo vans, the sprinter vans, the box trucks, the pickup trucks, the utility trucks, you name it. So the big question is, how much is commercial auto insurance at Nationwide? Now, it really depends on your geography, but also on other elements, right? Some of the factors that influence the cost of business auto insurance include the vehicle make, the model and the year, the cost when new, the gross vehicle weight, especially if the vehicle is a truck. You have driving records of all drivers. So you are listening to me right now. Your driving record will play an important role. So what the vehicle has been used for and how it has been used, for example, travel to and from the office, to visit clients or job sites throughout the day, or delivering supplies to various customers. And Nationwide will also pay attention to your claims history. So Nationwide will also pay attention to your date of birth, so your youth, so basically your seniority on the business, okay? And so in terms of other costs, think about the coverage options, including limits and deductibles, the number of commercial vehicles being insured. Obviously, if you have the more vehicles you insure, the less the cost will be. So the big question is, if you're listening to me right now, you might be thinking, do I need commercial auto insurance for my cargo van business, for my sprinter van business, for my courier business overall, for my delivery business overall? You do need it. You need commercial auto insurance if you have vehicles that the business owns. You will also need commercial auto insurance for any vehicles an employee owns, leases, or rents if they use those vehicles while conducting business. Because you never know. You got to cover your ass. And as a business, you probably don't want to put your business at risk by being underinsured, such as opting for a minimum auto liability coverage. Okay, so Nationwide recommends for all intents and purposes at least $500,000 in liability coverage per vehicle. I just want to repeat that. Nationwide recommends at least $500,000 in liability coverage per vehicle. So as I'm trying to really talk about today's topic, which covers nationwide commercial auto insurance policy, you need to understand that when you think about nationwide, you're thinking about very like vehicle insurance policy that covers everything. Okay, as you are moving from point A to point B, hauling loads for clients, you want to actually cover a lot of things. And nationwide right now is really great in terms of customer satisfaction. Fantastic company to go for when it comes to commercial auto insurance policy. I want to talk a little bit about. I want to give you a few pro tips. Okay, the thing is, what if you were to go with nationwide commercial auto insurance policy, you need to understand that the company has a lot of programs in place to sort of reduce your commercial auto insurance policy, that your premium you're paying over time. And what you want to do here is that you need to actually have a few processes in place to make sure you qualify real fast, but also you are able to get how do I say it? How you're able to get a lower insurance policy. First of all, you want to you want to have your EIN, your employer identification number. That's number one. Number two, you want to identify all the vehicles you would like to insure. Number three, you want to look at your credit score. See, the whole thing here is that there is a correlation between a commercial auto insurance and your company's credit score as well as your personal credit score. And things become like Nationwide will pay attention to your personal credit score if you are a one-person show, if you are a single member LLC, for instance. So make sure that your FICO is in top shape. It doesn't have to be like a 700 or 800. Just make sure you're not like at the bottom like 300 or 400. Okay. So if there is any problem with your FICO, you want to fix it before contacting Nationwide. So you want to have your EIN. You also want to have your business financials, because Nationwide will want to pay attention. We want to look into it to see how your business is doing, especially if you want to, let's say you want to insure vehicles that belong to the business, not vehicles that belong to you personally, right? And it doesn't matter whether you are having like a used van or a new van. It doesn't matter. You will need to still insure it. So also mention in some cases, Nationwide might want to see your monetization strategy. Like, do you do rate per mile? Do you do rate per load? Do you have a rate per hour? Do you have a rate per contract? It really depends. So how do you monetize your delivery business? How do you charge per load? Okay, but the bottom line is Nationwide will also want to see that you have, for instance, like a business plan that details how you're going to make money, because the whole thing here is that Nationwide just wants to understand that you understand the basics of a company car policy, that you are able to protect employee-owned vehicles with company car insurance. You are able to cover the business owner's car with the company car policy, and you have a system in place to learn more about commercial vehicle insurance over and over and over. Let me talk to you about a winner strategy here. So the whole thing here is that if you want to actually you want to sign up for a nationwide commercial auto insurance policy, it's important to do your research first, right? It's important also to make sure that you have the right sort of information. So basically, this show is kind of cool, but if you want to start the process, it's always good to reach out to Nationwide or call a Nationwide agent in your area to start the conversation. And you can call 1-888-490-1549, and so you can start the whole conversation. And it's important to understand that you are trying to safeguard your business. You are trying to cover your ass, because stuff happens if you actually get involved in a serious accident. And so if you have a van or a truck you own, liability insurance will help protect your company's asset. That's what you really need. So you need this protection if your business owns, leases, or rents any vehicles. Employees drive company-owned, leased, or rented vehicles. Employees drive their own vehicles while conducting business. And your employees drive company cars for both business and personal use. So this is kind of important. And please remember that commercial auto insurance is required in most states. As a matter of fact, we haven't seen any states where that type of policy is not required. Okay, I mean, we have actually researched at least 38 that we know for sure will ask for commercial auto liability insurance for your cargo van, your spreader van, your box truck, your pickup truck, your step van, and all that kind of stuff. But just make sure that you have the proper coverage, because the bottom line here is that if something were to happen, you are toast. So when we talk about something being required in most states, we're speaking about business auto liability insurance, because this is what really helps cover the financial responsibility if you or an employee is at fault in an accident and people are injured or their property is damaged. A minimum amount of commercial auto liability insurance or proof of financial responsibility is required in most states. Some states also require underinsured motorist and uninsured motorist coverage to protect you when the at-fault driver is unable to pay the total cost, and a collision or comprehensive insurance is often optional. So the thing is, if you are considering actually applying for a nationwide commercial auto insurance policy, make sure that you have the proper coverage, because they have been conversations about minimum coverage. Is it enough? Don't be a cheap ass, okay? Don't actually say, listen, I'm gonna save money, blah, 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 because stuff happens. If stuff happens, at that time, you don't think about, oh, I was trying to save a few dollars here and there, and then now here I'm actually faced with $1 million in lawsuits, okay? Minimum required commercial auto liability coverage varies by states and typically is the same for both personal and commercial auto liability policies. Many companies opt for more than state minimum coverage. Why? Because if an injured party sues for a larger amount than the minimum policy covers, it could seriously threaten many small businesses. And so if you listen to me right now, you have a cargo van, you have a Sprinter van, you have a box truck, you have a pickup truck, you have a step van. How much commercial auto liability coverage do you need? There are no clear rules. I mean, it really depends on your activity, your operational goals, your geography, and there are no clear rules around how much business auto coverage you need. Nationwide requires at least $100,000 commercial auto liability coverage per vehicle, with a recommended minimum of $500,000 up to a maximum of $1 million. For even more coverage, consider a business commercial umbrella policy. It picks up where your business auto liability, general liability, or other liability coverage stops. And commercial umbrella insurance is a cheap way to get extra coverage against bodily injury and or property damage. Let me give you an example. Let's say your cargo van or your Sprinter van or your commercial truck liability insurance policy covers you for $1 million and you are successfully sued for $1.5 million. Your commercial umbrella coverage can pay the outstanding $500,000, so you don't have to. This is kind of huge. Think about that. This is really huge. So how do you get commercial auto insurance policy? Well, just go to the website, okay? Go to a nationwide website, and you can actually just tap in commercial auto insurance policy, and you can start the conversation from there. Or even better, you can actually find an agent, and you can talk to the agent about what kind of coverage is right for you. So get started today. Ask all the questions that are needed. Okay, it's really important because you want to protect your business, your cargo van business, your Sprinter van business, your whatever business you have right now, whatever courier business you have right now. You got to cover because you don't want one specific incident to jeopardize your entire business. This will not be fair to you. So let me quickly recap today's conversation here. So I spoke to you about, I gave you a synopsis of nationwide commercial auto insurance policy, the approach you need to follow, the details you need to really pay attention to, also the pro tips you need to really pay attention to, the winner strategy for you to implement right now. And now I'm doing a recap. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.